Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Contact Lost. Our mini series, Round Zero Pairings, this time brings us to Logan from Team Germany. Hello.
Hello.
And Liam from Team Belgium.
Hello.
And as always, first of all, a massive thank you to our sponsors, the Army Painter and Weyland-Yutani, and to our wonderful Patreons. So, without any further ado, today we've got Team Germany, who might not be super happy with their last year's performance. And then we've got Team Belgium, who are always trying to push for that seed one spot. So, Logan, maybe you can tell us a little bit about last year. How did it go? And did you have any immediate takeaways or anything of the sort?
Sure. Yeah, we got sixth place last year. I think nothing to shame about, but of course we was a little bit disappointed. I think our team was capable to do more than the sixth place, and we had some difficulties right from the start. So maybe the sixth place wasn't as bad as we felt, but yeah, sixth place was it at the end, and I think our team are capable to get higher. That's true.
Mm-hmm. Right. And any takeaways from that event? Like, do you have any ideas what might not have gone as you would have liked it to?
Yeah, first of all, we would like to have no injuries again, straight up before we start. That would help, so our captain doesn't have to play. That was not helpful at all. And but this time, the first takeaway was that our squad has to be bigger. That we have substitute players that can swap in if this happens again. So we are much more prepared even for these situations. We did a lot of changes in the team. We did we did so many changes that we started a new program in Germany to get the WTC team in a whole different way, and it's hard to describe it in some sentence, I guess. We did a lot of changes and are much more focused on team play now than before.
Okay, well, we'll get to that. Try to scratch the tin a little bit, at least. Liam, what about Team Belgium? You finished 10th. And I feel like now that there are 10 spots in seed one, you were kind of cheated out of one. What do you think?
I mean, it's fine because last year, so we finished 10. That was our objective. We were quite happy, but we were still like, we didn't manage last year to have 8 Belgian. So we were using some mercenary, which we are not using this year. So, like, I think it's fine to not be in seed one yet because we were not like full Belgians. This year we are full Belgium, so I think we are aiming for about the same place. Like, but it's cool to be full Belgium and not be like with some mercenary.
100%. And so, did you have any takeaways from last year's event? Anything you think you could have done better?
Obviously, like I think it was the number of coach. Last year we had 2 coach, and I think this year we are expanded to 4 coach because like having like some last year we had 1 coach to do like game job and the other one more live, like doing the food, the evening and stuff like that. And I think having like a bit more coach is always useful. And like, but yeah, I think the biggest improvement was between like 2 years ago and last year, where we went from having like a single coach and like not being really prepared to like having more preparation, more coach, and we are extended that to this year.
Okay, cool. And actually, I have a different sort of question because year after year, you've managed to, in the pot phase, to draw against the seed one team, which might have been a surprise for some. But then in the Swiss phase, you maybe don't get such good results. Is there like any reason for that? Do you just do that much preparation into the pot phase rivals, or?
Yeah, I mean, one of the easiest objective for us generally is to like try to beat the pod one of like the seed one in the pod because it's quite easy. Like our weakest player, I can target the match they're gonna face in pairing, and ask them to prepare that match. They play that match like 2-3 times, and we are okay in pairing, so we managed to get that match or players that are maybe a bit less good, less experienced than like the top one, the pod one player. We managed to be able to like have the matrice result we expect because we are prepared for that match specifically. So it's kind of okay to do that in the pod, but for Swiss, it's like too hard to like estimate. Like you need to, because in the pod we can target the correct mission and maybe even the table if we do pairing correctly. Where like it's difficult to expect that for the Swiss round.
Yeah, because for the pod you have like 3-4 weeks to prepare, and then the pod is like
Yeah,
2
we are not
hours.
going to prepare for like 20 hour, 20 team. Like we do a lot of preparation for the pod one of the seed one of the pod generally, because we know it gives us a good base. But yeah, after that we might be a bit weaker, but so is life.
Okay. Logan, what do you think? You want to play Team Belgium as one of the seed 2 teams in the pod, or would you rather not?
Well, I think we can play everyone. And when we're trying to aim for bigger spots and the higher spots, we, of course, want to be able to beat every team that's not in the first seed. So I think our focus should be to beat everyone in the seeds, and so therefore, why not? Would be a nice game with the team.
Right. Okay. So, what about the team selection process for Team Germany? Then you've already started a little bit about that, so maybe you can elaborate. What was the process? How many candidates did you have for the team, and that sort of stuff?
Yeah, sure. We started first of all with the members from the last year. So we structured our whole system new, and we wanted to stay as a team for as long as possible and just swap single persons in and out. And the second thing is that we want to be more members in the squad. So I think we was at the start about 20 or something. And one thing that happened this year was that many international known faces stepped back this year for us because of some private issues or time issues and stuff. So month after month, we started to get less people, and we ended up with our goal was to end at 12 people, 12 players. That was our goal, and we managed to do that with some new faces, and yeah, we're pretty happy about it.
Okay. Right. So, at which point in time did you have these 12 people like solidified, chosen?
I think it was some close after the Alpine Cup. I think.
Okay.
I think close after the Alpine Cup, we aimed for the last 12. Yeah.
Okay. And when did you want to have the final 8? And what happened to the 4 players that didn't make the final team? Do they come along as coaches or not necessarily?
Well, we treat them like normal team members. We train with them. They can compete for the spots in the next year. We have a lot of faction specialists in these members, and we are happy to have them for the preparation for the event. And yeah, the final 8. We had a boot camp last week, and the aim was to have the final 8 there, and even before, if possible. But as we all know, the rules change a lot. The factions change a lot right before WTC, so you couldn't be sure about it. But we now managed to have the final 8 for us. Maybe some strange things happened, and we have to last minute swap something, but we don't aim for that. So we have our final 8, and we have 4 subunits. No, not this year. But we are preparing for it, and yeah, I think we have our final 8, and we have our 4 substitution players.
Okay, well, sounds like you've left it quite late to pick the final 8, but maybe it'll pay off. Liam, what about Team Belgium? What was the process, and how many candidates, how many naturally born Belgians applied for the team?
So yeah, this year it was a bit like the open of the gate, like we ask everywhere, and because we do the good result last year, more people were interested. Also,
Mhm.
last year we went in July to Pira Cup, where all the team was not couldn't go, so we had like some other Belgian to see how it work in team games, to see how team tournament works. So the
Mhm.
community was way more involved than before. So I think we start with like 16 people like September, and then we had like only like 12-ish people that were like in like actually doing stuff and like
Mhm.
being like at their every meeting and stuff. And then like between the level and stuff, I was saying like from January there were 9 people, so I had like 9 people to choose the 8 between like January and like April. Thing or the 8 were chosen like end of April or something, but like
Mhm.
it was 8 out of 9, so it was not that hard, I would say, to say.
Okay. And what forms of preparation did you use? What forms of training? I know any boot camps, any TTS screams, or anything more extraordinary?
So yeah, we didn't like we did a bit. So we did like 20-ish scrim on TTS,
Mm-hmm.
something like that during the year, and we went to like I think we went to some 4, 5, and 6 man tournament like around. I think we did Pira in November, stuff like that, and then after January we did 3 big 8 men like Pira Nation in February,
Mm-hmm.
Eurotrash Cup, and Six Nation, and
Mm-hmm.
that was about it. And we did after the selection, we did some boot camp, obviously, but not really
Okay.
before.
And how did those events go? The big 8-man ones.
It was okay. Like we managed. I think overall we managed to do okay. Like in Pira, we did like we didn't qualify the pod phase, but we did 3 draw in the pod and then 2 win in the lower bracket.
Mm-hmm.
In Eurotrash Cup, we submarine a bit because we start with a draw, a win, and then a lose against Germany. And then we submarine and win to get back top 3. But it's how South Swiss round happened. It was not really a top 3. It was, and then I think in Six Nation we beat England, so we were happy, but lost against Ireland in the final, so we finished second. So
Mm-hmm.
we did all right, but it was training. So like those events are not really meant the ranking or anything there. It's like not that important. It's more to get the team together, play some 8 men, see like a bit of like for the new people to see how it works. Like having a bit like the stress, like the real life experience.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was more treated as training than. I don't think any of those like ranking matter for us.
Fair enough, but you've still done quite well. And submarining or not, at the end of the day, the result is all that's remembered. Logan, what do you think? Did Team Germany attend any of such events? And did you also treat them more like training?
Yeah, for sure. I totally agree with Liam. I think we did a lot of national 5-man events. We did event in Poland with another name, like the Reisegruppe was joining there and did a good result.
Mm-hmm.
We showed some new faces on the Eurotrash. Um, so it was kind of funny. The people thought, "Who are you guys?" But after all, we managed to be pretty good. I think we won all and draw the super team
Mm-hmm.
from all over the world. Alpine Cup was pretty disappointed, but we split into teams and we did a lot of testing there and swap player roles and get them on new factions and stuff. So it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't as important for us. It was just a good test, and of course we wanted to get higher, but it was like Liam said, just training, and the result isn't the. Even if we won something like this, we wouldn't take too much care about it.
Okay, right. And any other methods that you used? Any TTS screams? Any boot camps? Did you do any sort of that stuff?
Yeah, we did some TTS scrims with a lot of nations. I think about 7 or so, as not as much as Belgium did, but we did 4 boot camps in real life. We have still players that are playing more offline than online. And yeah, we did this as well. We have also what do you call it? Maybe little boot camps all over the country. So not the whole team comes there together. It's more like training partners and maybe like 4 or 5 players of the team, and so we can split them a little bit up.
Yeah, depending on the geography, I guess, who lives close to who,
Yeah.
etc. Right, and what do you guys think about 8-man teams versus 5-man teams? I mean, is participating in 5-man teams, does it give that much of an experience and preparation for an 8-man event?
I would say the
DM?
feeling is the same. Like for the player playing the 5-man or the 8-man is about the same, but the pairing matter a lot less in 5-man than in 8-man. Often it feels pretty random, or like the importance of pairing is pretty. It's a lot less important in 5 than in 8. It feels, because in 5 it's more important to have like a strong 5-choice army. It feels the pairing choice are not that big in the end. I think it's exponential, obviously, but you have like defender 1 that is important, and then all the rest is pretty like logic, and there is not a lot of choice after that.
Yeah,
But,
well, I would agree. Yeah, the 8-man is a lot more work for the coaches and for the pairings, and I think the most important slots in the 8-man are the last 2. So it's a lot of more work to get in there. So I would agree. The 5-man was pretty easy to choose 5 factions and have a plan.
All right. Logan, so would you like to introduce the team a little bit to us? So mention who's going to be representing Germany at the WTC and a couple of words about each of the players.
Sure. So we first of all are a way bigger team. Just we have our 8 players, we have 4 substitutes, and we have 3 coaches, and we have our head Manuel Bell that's also joining there. He's doing a lot of work for the structure, and he's more or less the head of the heads, like the boss of the organization. And he do a lot of things for us besides the game, like sponsoring and something like this. And we are joining with 8 players. For the starting 8, we have Arne Zert. I think a lot of people know Arne. I think Liam do. We have
come from Belgium.
Yes, we got him back. We have Grisha Garrett. He was there last year. We have Valentin Schefter, who was also last year there and pretty high in the WCW event. We have Caio Villana. This is one he doesn't compete last year, but he's a veteran in the scene, I think. He won that ETC a couple of times, and he comes back as a veteran for us this year. Okay. And then we have 4 new faces, at least new faces on the international stage. We have Chris Breuer. He's a long-time player in Germany, but he didn't show up as much in the international stages. In the WTC, it's its first time. We have Arthur Güttler. He's also a new one, not as much new than other people, but also just playing in Germany. We have Pascal Haberstroh, a complete new one for the international stage, and we have Max Schierenbecker, also completely new to the international stage. They all went on in this year to some events like Eurotrash or Open Cup and stuff, but all these 4 last players was completely new for the WTC. For the 4 substitutes, we have Leif Westermann, also complete new player. We have Manuel Berades, aka, Berades is his nickname, sorry, Manuel Weyland. We have Fred Otto, more international knowledge as a substitute. And we have Emmanuel Wolf, or Wolf. Also, he was at the WTC 2 years ago, then had a little break last year, and then now he's as a substitute player now in our team.
Okay. Quite the wide roster. Thank you for that. Liam, Team Belgium.
So I mean, we have 8 people. So it's like 4 are like there from the start. I like start 3 years ago with me. So we have me, Vidar, Guillaume, and Bart. And then we have the fifth one that were with us last year, Gilles, that is also like dealing with all the sponsorships and the communication. So he do a great job around that too. And then we have 3 new people. So I mean, we have Razorix, that was our coach last year, that now is playing. And then 2 new faces, really new. It's Gabriel Geert, so Gab, and Ian Tran, that are new to the scene. They play War Master once, maybe, because like I think Jan did, because like obviously it's in Belgium, so it's a bit easy to access, but that's about it. But I mean, they played the event this year, so we had a lot of like, they play most of the Scream, they play like at least 2 of the big international events, so yeah. They did a lot of prep.
Okay, good. So they know what they'll be dealing with. Good stuff. So what's the target or expectation for this year for Team Belgium? I think you've mentioned it a little at the beginning, but
yeah, I think we are not there to win it right now. We are a bit too young as a team, I think, because it's my first year as captain. We just like start a bit to be full Belgium. So I think we just aim to stay in the same spot as we are now, like one of the top seed 2 team. Maybe trying to get a top 10 would be cool. Maybe not manageable. We will see. But yeah, we are there to have to like think top 10 is about like the max we can aim for. Maybe more, but we are trying to work a bit to get at least like top of seed 2, I think.
okay.
Maybe bottom of seed 1.
Good stuff. What about Team Germany? Do you have any targets set for this year, or it's gonna be what it's gonna be?
Well, after we have so many new faces and we started this new structure all around the team, we was a little not sure about how strong we are. And after a while, we thought we need to fix a goal. And our goal was to not lose around. So if my math is correct, that would be top 3. And that's our goal, I think.
Sounds like you're not just not losing, you're also sneaking some wins in there.
Yeah, that should be good. Yeah, right. Yeah, of course. We know that we have a lot of new faces and a new structure, so we can't say we win every round. I think that's a little bit too much. But we are not playing for losing, and I think after a while we thought we are strong enough to don't lose a round and win much more. So some draws is okay, but we are not disappointed if it's not. If we not reach the goal because of all the new things will happened.
Sure. And speaking of new things, what do you guys think of the fact that last year we've had a new edition for the WTC released almost on the day of the rules cutoff. This year we've got like a edition 10.5, so we've had heaps of changes in the recent data slate. Do you think that like evens the field in terms of various teams competing, or is it not very helpful for you guys? Logan, let's start with you this time.
Depends what players you have, I think. I think we have players that can adapt pretty well and pretty fast to new things, and we, as a coach, we have more difficulties. But the players are kind of fine with it and are excited to play the new edition, you know. and we structured it like to focus on that we can focus on. So we start with the missions and the maps, and then we, after the faction FAQ came and something new came, we got to the factions and built a structure on it, and I think we managed it pretty good. Yeah.
Okay, and you've mentioned that you've chosen the final 8 fairly late, and you've had 12 people very much involved up to the like final moment. Uh, was that like an informed decision? Did you expect such changes to the game before making choosing the final team, or was it just like a lucky coincidence that you've had a bit more people very much
Mm,
focused?
we had 4 players fixed, I think in spring or early summer. And the last 4 spots we was aiming for after the Alpine Cup,
Mm.
and the 12 spots at last was for the 4 substitutes. So our final 8 was after the Alpine Cup clear.
Mm.
But we, of course, because of the problems last year, and we knew it will be happened again with GW with the new rules, or we expected it. We was clear that we needed substitutes if we need to swap, but we did not aim to not choose the final 8s after Alpine Cups, and we trying to stay on it.
Okay. Right. So I got that a little bit wrong.
Yeah, maybe I
Liam,
was wrong.
uh, what about what's your take on adapting to the new edition, if you will? Do you guys have enough prep to put in enough time to put in a lot of repetitions now with the new rule sets, new maps, new whatnot?
So overall, I prefer a lot playing with the new edition, the last rule cutoff, because like if we don't, that means we play for a different game for like 3 months, and it's a bit annoying.
No,
But
of
like
course.
generally speaking, for us being a bit like weaker player and stuff like that, it's a bit harder to adapt quickly because like we tend to build our strength by repetition. So having like more time to like prep every matchup and stuff, like because we need to play the matchup on the table, like to make it sure we learn it good. It's a bit of a
Mhm.
downside, but I mean it's life, right? It's fine. Like we have less people to test every matchup and stuff, so we will probably be a bit less prepared than most of the other team that have more like people around in the team. But it's life. I mean, we will do our
Mhm.
best to try to not be too ridiculous.
Okay. And what do you think of the changes themselves?
Overall, they are pretty good. Huh? Like having a way more balanced meta, it feels like most of the faction are playable, and it's like looking like to be all in the center more and more, so it's like
Mhm.
kind of cool. So yeah, the change are cool. Like generally, I have no like change, and they tend to be good. I feel like those this edition at least like the game between now and last WTC is so much different. So like it's kind of
Mhm.
cool and so much better as well. I feel.
Yeah, and I think it's also more interesting in the sense that there isn't really an obvious 8 faction composition, right? So that makes it definitely interesting. Logan, what do you think of the changes?
Yeah, I personally think the changes are really good for the game. The game's really the meta is really much closer, but it makes also the preparing much harder for the other countries because I think nearly everything is viable if you have a specialist for it. So it's kind of hard to prepare for, I don't know, 10 factions or something like this, like other years was. So it's way better for the game. It will be much more fun, but I think the preparation is much harder, and I think it can be. There is room to surprise with other countries to win games you didn't thought about before because it's all so close together, and you can't play everything out.
Hmm. Yep. Okay. And do you have like a favorite change in the new pack?
I think my favorite change is the heroic intervention for 1 CP. I think that's really good for the game. The dynamic in the game changed a lot because this is a really fun stratagem, and you will choose to use it more often, and I think it's really good for the game.
That's true, but it's unlucky when you forget that that's happened. You look at your opponent's CP. Oh, he's only got one. Let's go in, and then yikes, stuff happens. Liam, do you have a favorite change?
Yeah, probably agree. Heroic intervention make like it like recall a bit of 9th edition with the old heroic intervention a bit everywhere. It make the game a bit more technical, a bit more fun overall. I think yeah. Like the other
So,
one are about like its rules. So, but yeah, the heroic intervention for 1 CP like is cool.
okay, so not Magnus spinning around like a madman and moving what feels like 800 inches across the table.
I didn't get to have the feeling that there, but yeah, it might be fun.
All right.
I mean, the best
Okay.
one is with like with like the big vehicle like Doomsday Ark or like Wave Serpent or
Oh yeah.
Tantalus.
Yeah.
That's a bit, whew, but yeah, like
Yeah, that's also fun. What about the new missions, guys? What do you think about the new like secondaries? Because there's been quite an overhaul in them. So
so.
Well, Liam, please.
So overall, like the secondary feel a bit harder to do, but like I mean they are still about the same. Like doing action around here, like it's okay. Like fix seem a bit harder overall, which is fine. But yeah, weirdly enough, it's harder to score a lot of points, but most of the secondary now are achievable. Like you can choose to do it, even though like it's annoying, but you can choose to like do action and stuff if you want. So it's a bit annoying, but yeah, you at least there is no more like being a lot faster, stuff like that. No, you they are a lot more achievable. It feel and with all like the I cannot score, bring it down, or I cannot do behind turn one stuff like that. Being there, it help a bit like recycle the deck a bit. So even like slow army like I don't know Votan or whatever, or any army that are a bit slower have a bit less of a disadvantage. I feel. But overall, like yeah, and the primary feel a bit cool. Like new primary is always kind of cool. So yeah,
yeah, that's true. I mean, there's quite a few different ones now, and in terms of the secondaries, I feel like there's now a lot more decision making because exactly there's like a couple of cards more, so you need to think about recycling the harder ones, and then some don't give as much points. So is it worth to do it or just recycle it for a CP? Yeah. What do you think, Logan, about the missions?
Yeah, that's true. I think besides Mark for Death, that's stupid. This card is nearly not achievable most of the time, but other secondaries feel really easy to do sometimes. And you are right, because they are less points worth. You can choose to use it as a CP or just need the points. I really like the reshuffle from dead cards. There are a lot less dead cards. That's
Oh,
really cool.
that's like my favorite change, I think.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And I would agree that fixed isn't as easy as before. And I feel like the game got more random because of that. Because you have a lot of games there where cards can swap the result a lot, and with the fixed secondaries, when both go fixed, you pretty much know in which direction it will go. So yeah, but overall, I'm liking it. Yes.
Hmm. Right, and I've got like one other question, not typical, that will or might require a bit of background. So the WTC also has a singles event, right? And in Poland, we've gone through very different approaches from like, okay, we can't play the singles because the other teams will see what we've brought, how we play it, etc. to, okay, if you're going there for the first time, you have to play the singles as sort of warm up, to then going like, okay, playing the singles is mad because it's just too many games across too many days. What's the approach for you? What approach do you guys have, if any? That is, Liam.
So, I mean, me, I'm a bit mad, so I like playing a lot of 40k. So playing single plus team is fine. Overall, I think it's more like we are open to everything. I rather have my playing the single to warm up and everything, and it's
Mhm.
more fun longer. Like instead of feeling like a big weekend, it feels like a big week, which is kind of fun because in the single you can afford to like go out a lot more and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool.
Mhm.
But I have some players that don't want to play it because it feels too exhausting, which I'm okay with at all. We don't really have like a code of conduct, like everyone do whatever. And if you want to spy Belgium, go for it. It's not like we have a lot to hide anyway. So
It's also easier for you guys when you live there, right? A little bit.
yeah, it's fair too. Like it's next home, so why not doing it anyway?
Yeah. Logan, what about you guys?
Well, we see it a little bit different. We think it's too exhausting for especially for our new players, to play the
Mhm.
singles event, uh, at least at the end. And we also doesn't want to show our list. And to be honest, and we have substitutes players that are playing. We have a coach that will playing, but we still have a warm up because we this year we did a change that we rent a house,
Mhm.
so we're going with 21 people in this house, and we have warm-ups in this house and tables in this house. So we're still doing warm-up rounds, and but not a lot of us will play the single event.
Okay. And this house, is it fairly close to the venue, or you've had to find like is a whole village of its own, 500 kilometers away, actually in Germany?
No. I think I'm not sure but I think it's 15 to 20 minutes, something like this. So
Okay, so
last
not
year
bad.
we had to walk a lot of time, and we had
Mhm.
two different places, and the team was always split, and we walked in different directions, and it took a lot of time. So I think the time will be pretty much no, it will be less time to reach the venue, and we are all in one house. And I think for the team feeling and for the preparation and for also for the fun, it's a lot cooler to be all in one house.
Oh, 100%. It sounds like a very good plan, and hopefully it pays
Yeah.
off. Right. Time for a little bit of a comedy relief. So, despite Nathan not being here, and we're sending him warm hugs so that he survives work, he did leave me with some Googled national dishes. So, it's up to you guys to confirm whether they're actually true and if they are the best dishes in the world. So, I'm just scrolling through my Discord messages that I've got with him. Germany's up first. Sauerbraten.
That's hard because I'm just half German. I'm half German, half
Okay.
Spain, and I personally would never say this is the best dish in the world.
Okay. Would you say it's the national dish of Germany, or would you go with something
Yeah, for
different?
sure. It's one of the national dishes, for sure, especially in when you have a long week and you come to your mother. I think this will be a dish that you get. Yeah.
All right. So what is it? It sounds like it's a lot of potatoes and pork cutlets, but
Well, it's a big chunk of meat in a net, and
mhm.
it's uh, it's really a little bit sour, but it tastes pretty good, and it's pretty. You do normally you have potatoes with it and sauerkraut.
Mhm.
I don't know the English word for sauerkraut. I think it's just kraut. But yeah.
Jeez, neither do I. Let's try and quickly learn what it is. And well, okay, if it would be live, we could ask the chat if anyone would be watching. But now we have to manage it on our own with Google Translate. Sauerkraut. Okay, I have obviously wrote it wrong because it's. Oh no, wait, pickled cabbage.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that gives us an idea of what it is. But you're saying you wouldn't call it the best dish in the world, even if your mommy makes it when you visit her once in 5 years?
I think she could do any dish, and I would be happy there. I think. But my mom is
Okay.
Spanish, so my mom
Right.
would prefer paella, you know. So
Yeah, okay, makes sense. Makes sense. If you're Spanish from the mother's side, then yeah, sauerbraten's not going to be the choice when visiting. Liam, muls frites, muls frites.
Mulfrit, yeah.
Mulfrit, okay. I was closer the first time. So what is that? Is it a national dish of Belgium?
Yeah, it's kind of one of the best one. So it's
Okay, is it
basically
fried with chocolate?
the correct would be mulfrit mayo, I think,
Okay.
because
of course
always
there's
mayo.
mayo.
Always put mayo with your fry. So I mean, the easy part is obviously there is French fried with because Belgium and there is French
Hmm.
Belgium fried everywhere. And
Of course.
so moule are a seafood. Seafood. It's like when you open with like a little stuff inside, and you
Hmm.
put that in a big marmite with like you put either creme or white wine in it, and it's
Okay.
really really good. You can eat that on the Centerplatz in Mechelen actually, because for the
Okay.
anecdote, last year when I went, because I don't live in Mechelen, I live like next door in Brussels, the capital.
Hmm.
So I took my train to go in Mechelen, and who do I meet? David Gellar. I meet him there by chance, and so we stopped eating with some friends into the main place of Mechelen, and we did eat mulfrit because it's kind of good. But yeah, it's fucking good, and it's probably the best dish on earth. I think I agree. But
Okay.
I mean,
There we go.
fried is at least fried is the best dish on earth. The mule is kind of, do you like or not? It's like it's a seafood, so some don't like it, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
pretty
you
good.
have to have a taste for it, right? Well, okay.
Yeah.
I might check it out if it's in Mechelen in the plaza. That's reachable, unlike some of the other dishes that we've been hearing about from distant parts of the world. Okay, guys, last but not least, if you've got any social media pages, any sponsors you want to thank, now's the time. So, Logan, why don't you start us off?
Yeah, for sure. You can check us out on Team Germany or on Instagram. We also have a homepage. I think it's called 40K Germany. I will get in trouble with the media team because of that, because I don't know it exactly. But Instagram is true, and of course we want to thank our sponsors, Game Island. They are our main sponsor this year, and they also sponsored a boot camp for us, and there's so much love from them for the community, and they are really big now, and we are really thankful to have them. Yes, so thank you, Games Island.
All right. Thanks for that. Liam, anything about Team Belgium?
So we have a Facebook page, Team Belgium 40K. You can find everything about our sponsor there. I thank them, but not too much dealing with them. So, but we have stuff there, and yeah, that's about it. Team Belgium 40K on Facebook. But yeah.
Okay. Thanks for that. I'll try to include them in the video description below, along with the links to our sponsors, the Army Painter and Weyland-Yutani, to which we're thankful for. Right, guys, today we're gonna wrap up. So just a small reminder that if you like what we do, you can like, subscribe, and whatnot, and consider becoming a patron. Thank you, Logan and Liam, for joining and showing us through the ropes of Team Germany and Team Belgium. Best of luck at the event, and we'll see you there.
Thank you
Yes,
guys.
Bye bye.
thank you.